This podcast is powered by The Plug. The Connect with Graffiti.
Once again, back in the building is The Connect with Graffiti. I got the guys in the building. The young party gods is what I call y'all.
we try to do what we can.
GNC Productions, man. My guys. The faces behind Munchies and Mimosas. The guys. What's up, brothers?
How you doing? Appreciate you for having us.
Oh, man. First, I'll start with you, Colin. How's your mental?
Mental as of about probably 10 minutes ago is a little better.
Yeah.
Just been going through a lot of stuff with the behind the scenes, trying to get our next iteration of Munchies off the ground. But other than that, doing well. You know, job's doing well, family's well, friends well. So living good.
Word, DB.
Yeah, mental, same, doing well all around the board. I'm a big proponent of mental health and so. Yeah, mental's great, and
good.
Everything else is good.
Good, that's what's up, man. So for the people out there that don't know who y'all are, just let them know a little something about GNC.
GNC Productions, we're a collective of 6 guys. None of us are from here, from different parts of the country. We got Alaska, 2 from Ohio, Chicago, Atlanta, Virginia.
Yeah.
We all met here. We had like-mindedness. I think we were in like a group meet for like young black professional transplants. So we used to just go out together, hang out and stuff on the weekends, and then that kind of turned into a brotherhood. We had some ideas of starting a brunch. I believe it was supposed to be like a one-off.
Yeah.
That went well. They asked us to do it again. Second time didn't go as planned, but the third and on, they've kind of grown and elevated ever since then.
Word, man. So being transplants, for one, Alaska's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's Najee. Najee's he's from Alaska.
Shouts to Najee, that's crazy. But being transplants and coming and bringing the culture from the different cities and different elements to Colorado, let's talk about that, because y'all did kind of just sweep out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, me being in the promotion and party scene, like y'all just hit the ground running. It seems like, I know that's not the case.
Right. I wouldn't say we necessarily hit the ground running. Our first few events were pretty well attended, but a lot of them were transplants. But like you said, we saw like a gap in the market where the brunch as far as brunch goes. We used to go to brunch. We used to be the rowdiest crew at all these brunch spots. A lot of them didn't make it past pandemic, but a lot of these restaurants we just we used to link up at, be loud, drink champagne and mimosas at, and finally we were like, man, let's kind of do something that gives the flavor of some of these cities like Atlanta that we're from, and kind of how we see brunch in our eyes, the liveliness, the DJ, the dancing, the culture, all of that type of stuff. So I think we found that void and we filled it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have nothing to add there, but I can remember our first brunch at your mom's house, and just the amount of people that was there, and we were stressed about it.
Yeah.
We were stressed about it.
Yeah.
And just seeing how much it's grown and how much people have just gravitated towards the vibe of Munchies has been incredible to see.
Yeah.
It's been dope to watch y'all, because there's 2 pieces of Denver entertainment, like of the scene, right? It's like the super proud locals that anything local, I support it. I'm with it. And then there's the side that it's not cool unless it came from somebody else. You know what I mean? Like we don't adapt to it unless we see other cities say, "Oh, that's dope." And I think Munchies falls in between both of those. Because like me, I'm like, oh, this is dope, man. We needed something like this, and I'm from here. But then a lot of y'all's crowd just not from here. They flying in, they checking y'all out, and I always thought that was interesting, man. Just how do y'all market to outside crowds? Is it personal relationships?
A lot of our fly-ins are some of our personal friends, being that we're all from 6 different places. I know we always say the greatest party that Denver never saw was the opening day event 2020. We had like a little internal like competition to see how many people we can get to fly in. I think I had like 40. I think Merck was up to like 60. So we a lot of our fly-ins are kind of like our personal friends. Another part of our fly-ins are coming from like the word of mouth. So just people from Denver or who live in Denver now, they post the event and their friends like, oh, what's that? That looks dope. And then they tell their friends about it. Then next time we come out, they're like, oh, now they're back in Denver. Like you should come. So I think that's where we get a lot of our fly-ins from.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Do you feel like I guess this is a deeper question, but college culture plays a heavy part in y'all's crowd?
I mean, college culture in the sense of people me personally, who I went to college with.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the guys who I went to college with, they usually come out and support the event. But I don't know. I
wouldn't say our events really have a college feel to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think, just they don't give me college vibes. I feel like it's a grown iteration of a college party.
Got you.
If that makes sense.
I would say the same. I asked that
yeah.
question though specifically because I do know a lot of people in the South, that attend HBCUs and stuff, and for some reason they know munchies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
so what? It was about 3 of us went to HBCUs. 3 of y'all went to HBCUs. So
Najee went to Fort Valley. I went to Jackson State, and
Okay.
Merck went to Virginia State. I want to say.
Yep. And then I think everyone except for me is Greek.
okay.
So those connections, those
So that element is
those
there.
kind of
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
just kind of go yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are from the South and Midwest, and like what's different between the South and Midwest and the East Coast than here is those states are jumbled together.
Yeah.
So you can get to a lot of those states, and a lot of those networks kind of mesh just because of proximity.
Right.
Colorado with the next close states with New Mexico and Utah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to like do a road trip and like link up with other people like in the Midwest and South and the East. You can I get in the car and I'm in Indianapolis, Chicago. So
That's true.
Just very quickly. So it's easy to build a network like that.
Yeah.
Living out there.
That's what's up. That's interesting, man. My cousin, he lives out in Texas, and he texted me one day and was like, "Man, I'm finna come to Denver for this party. It's called Munchies or something." Like, nigga, that's the homies. But that's dope to see that it's spread like that, and then you do travel with the party as well.
Yeah, and honestly, like I said, I think we started this as like a one-off. So like when I do hear about people in other markets that we're not necessarily in or directly marketing to, hearing about it, that's just a blessing. It's like the word of mouth is, I think, underrated as a marketing tool. It's just you can't beat word of mouth.
Word, man. So just promotions and parties, the scene, the game, the industry, it's wild, man.
It is.
Like I've always been 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the promotions game, and like I said, lately I just y'all got it.
Yeah.
Well, we're also not promoters either.
Yeah. So speak on that. Please speak on that.
That's a great point.
The guy we have a joke internally where we like to say like we're not promoters, we're like event curators.
There you go.
Just because of the the kind of the stigma that comes with being a promoter and all that stuff.
And this is all of our side jobs too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so. This is a side job for sure. We all have 9 to 5s in which we're thriving in, all of us, and having
to balance this. Yeah, and I feel like we do a lot more than promoting. We talked internally about starting like a BTS series, like a behind the scenes series, just so people can kind of get a glimpse and an idea of what actually goes behind Munchies. I think the production is just, we try to make it as flawless as possible so you just come and you just feel like it's an event. But some of all the stuff behind the scenes, it's a lot more than promoting. It's a lot more than just saying, hey, come to this night or come to this club. It's negotiations, is hiring folks, is hiring the staff.
It's a business.
It's a business at the end of the day, and we treat it as such. We have weekly meetings to kind of, like I said, we all have 9 to 5, so we make sure we kind of have that placeholder to make sure we give, GNC Productions the allocated time to kind of make it as big and, as with the glit and glam that as everybody see.
Yeah. I'm glad you highlighted that because that's a very valid point, and it's important to say that, and that's why I asked that question, because I know just being around the scene so long out here that it's cutthroat. You know what I mean? It is. It comes with a lot of negativity. It comes with a lot of shade, and hate, and it's like, man, and then that promoter title specifically, that itself just comes.
I specifically as a single man, I don't like the stigma as a promoter. It's just I get a certain title already. It's just a certain something put on you just already as like
you're trying to date.
Just like, nah,
I'm a promoter. You got a mixtape too.
That's funny.
It's but again, it's a thin line. It's like to not be box into that promoter category.
Yeah.
But I think y'all do that well because the event itself speaks for itself. You don't even have to know who's behind it.
Exactly.
And I think that's when you know.
I think I love that about our event too. Sometimes we'll put our faces on like some marketing or in the pictures or something like that, or highlight something about us specifically. But one thing I specifically love about our event is that the event is bigger than me. You know, some people may know of me. A lot of people probably do know of me. But a lot of people don't know me specifically. And I like it that way. I like you know the event. You know, I'll probably be on the mic for half the event, so you probably know me as like the loud guy on the mic. But other than like actually knowing me, I love that the brand is a lot bigger than all of us.
Absolutely.
For sure. What has been your favorite munchie so far, both of y'all?
Man.
Or if not the whole party, your favorite moment at one of them?
Man. Go ahead.
I would have to say, that's hard. That's hard. As a recent, I would have to say the opening day event where we had Tone Stith and Erica Banks come out.
Okay. That was that last year?
That's last year. Yeah, that was a movie.
Yeah.
So I have three. I'll give you three answers. My favorite, so I have the first one at your mom's house.
Yeah.
That's just my baby. Like it was just such a vibe. It was crazy. The second one I would mention is the one at Lester Pearl. Fall through one. KDJ did that one. And we hired a videographer to capture that one. It was the first time I think we spent the budget to like capture the essence of it. I think that one is the one that took us off because of a lot of elements, right? We hired professional photographers and videographers, and it was a moment. The sun was coming in, the golden hour. It was crazy. We were standing on stuff.
It just
we made Lester Pearl look like it had never looked before.
Like you said, that swag surf.
That's swag. That I think that will always replay in my mind.
I think KDJ, he had put like the best brunch or best brunch secret, something like that. But it was like the swag surf moment. It was crazy. Yeah. And then three, he was talking about artists. I think my favorite artist moment of like when we kind of have stepped to the artist field was opening day 2022 when we had Beat King come. And we had already, the tickets were already going crazy by the time we had booked them.
Yeah.
So we was like, we don't even really need like to put his name on anything, like to promote it or anything. So let's just keep him a secret. So he came out as a secret, and it was dope seeing kind of people like hearing the song and vibing to this. I'm like, hold, is that? And then everybody kind of realized like, oh, that's. And so I think that was a dope moment.
Yeah, that's fire. So you was talking about hiring a videographer to capture the moment, man. One thing that really stands out is y'all's marketing.
Yeah,
let's talk about that side of it, man. Just kind of the creative side of it, the team behind it.
Yeah.
How do y'all be coming up with this shit?
This man right here, genius.
I try not to take all the. Put it this way, it's a team effort. I try not to take all the. So I think like I said, we have those weekly meetings. A lot of times we'll disseminate homework, come back to the next meeting with whatever. You know? So a lot of times we'll try to think of the idea, try to think of what's popping at that time or what's popping in culture, and then we'll kind of build like a skeleton. From there, I'll take that skeleton and I'll build out like a treatment plan of how we want the video to be shot, all the scenes we need and stuff like that. And then I'll send it to the group, and then they'll put like their little elements in to kind of make it like the complete product that you see. And then we just have a staff of like super dope videographers in our arsenal that we can tap and like, hey, and they've worked with us enough, so like they know our working style, and it's kind of like family. They're like an extension of GNC Productions, so they kind of come in and execute flawlessly. But you know, it takes some time of thinking and a lot of shot down ideas. I think the idea that we have, I think you'll particularly love the idea that we have, and we're looking for. We normally try to promote an event for like 2 months, gives 6 to 8 weeks. So we try to think of what's a theme we could just keep building on throughout that whole. So I think you're going to enjoy what we come up with. I'm gonna be looking,
man. I'm gonna be looking. Let's talk about the business side, kind of what we're talking about off mic, just the part that people don't see, the venues, security, deposits, kind of the headache part of this. Yeah. Just talk about that a little bit.
I think. If I put it, so it's funny. So, you know, people say our ticket prices. Sometimes they be like, oh, yeah, that's understandable. Some people are like, oh, why is it so much? Yeah. For one, if you go down south or to these other cities, you're just getting food and a seat for like a 2-hour, time frame for some of the prices that we have, right? But the other thing I also want to point out is that business aspect, right?
Yeah.
I think if people saw the ticket that comes behind the venue rental, the entertainment, the security, the food, the everything, I think people understand why the ticket prices are what they are. Mm-hmm. But it's a gauntlet, especially being of our culture in Denver. We deal with a lot of microaggressions. We put out a tweet the other day. With the email, we blurred all the names out, but basically, it was a venue that everyone loved. It was a fan favorite venue. There were some small inconveniences at the last one, and I feel like they kind of used that as like to kind of stand on and be like, we don't want to have you back. Luckily, we were able to forge some pretty other dope relationships.
Yeah.
So now I think we have a dope venue that I think people are going to enjoy. But just different stuff like that. We deal with a lot of microaggressions in this industry.
Yeah, facts. I think you and Eric from Taste of the South talked about it a lot during your last interview in regards to people like Colin just mentioned, people not really seeing like all the back end stuff that goes into creating an event. Like Eric was saying, like the bringing Rick Ross out and him wanting like the 50 black towels and all that stuff. Like artists are really that specific in regards to some of the things that they want, and so people see the ticket prices and they're like, people don't want to necessarily pay that, but not knowing that there is a lot that goes into those prices that people see. So
I think where we also went to is 6 of us, and we all have. I don't know how this happened. Like the way we came together is like Voltron. Is that like the one when all this stuff comes together? It's just like, so DB, he does email and text marketing.
Okay.
He communicates with our food vendors. I negotiate for a living, so I do a lot of the venue negotiation. Justin does a lot of marketing, and he used to be a published photographer, so he handles our media team. Cam works, for like a company that's well within graphics, so he does a lot of our graphic designing and a lot of our internal thoughts and stuff like that. Gabe, he's just super visual and like futuristic. So he does a lot of our visionary stuff. So he thinks steps ahead, and brings a lot of the relationships that we have now to the table. Najee, he's just a numbers guy, so he does our financials and stuff like that. So it's I think where we went specifically is 6 of us like literally working as a fist, like we're not individuals. So I think that's a dope part about our group specifically.
That's fire, because that was my next question, man. Like y'all have an actual team. So usually when you see situations like this, it's just the bunch of the homies. Everybody's kind of just trying to do the same thing. I was gonna say, how the hell do y'all manage each other and deal with each other when it's 6 of y'all? But if everybody has a role,
and every now and then I'll dip my toe over there. I know I'll probably get on DB's nerve, like, hey, have you looked at this food truck? And he probably like, I got it. Like every now and then we'll lend like a dip into each other's lanes, and that's welcome too, though. We argue a lot. A lot of our meetings are arguing. But we literally have a brotherhood. So we'll end the meeting on great terms, but it just shows the passion. Like we all want this to be great. So we'll get into your lane and we'll step on toes. But then at the end of the day, we have some innate and unique ability to be able to just kind of get it all together somehow.
Right.
So we call it. I'm over here smiling because we call it the POC haze.
Yeah, the POC haze. Well, that POC haze is. Well, I hate when because like a lot, like I said, I do a lot of negotiating, like the venue. So right now, our next event is like cool, but we ain't gonna have no event until we have some venue. So a lot of it is like everybody's looking at. I just feel eyes on me. So at certain points, everyone has the whole group looking at. I'm like, are you done? Like, is everything good to go? So. It's funny because we do call it the PLC haze.
Yeah. Well, man, what's next? What's up? I know y'all can't quite announce.
We can.
Just overall for GNC, what's the future?
So we just got the clearance. We are going to be at the Fillmore on April 6th.
That's fire.
Super excited about that. I think it's a legendary and like a milestone venue for us.
That's a statement venue.
It's a statement venue.
It's a statement venue for sure.
Those tickets will be on sale next week after we jump through the last 15,000 hoops. But it's a good learning experience working with a bigger company. We've been working with Live Nation, working with them is just a little different than our independent route where we just we can wake up and just put tickets on sale whenever. It's
a process.
It's a process. And so with the help of them as well, we're looking at doing a tour. In 2024. So we're still working on those days, working on those locations, but we're trying to spread this brand throughout the domestic states.
Yeah.
We have a few states in mind that we're working with, trying to get some details with. But once we get that announced, we're going to put out like a whole slate out of like we're a touring artist.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm excited about that.
Yeah. What Deion say? We coming.
We
we
coming. We coming. Yeah. And
Nah,
then-
y'all here.
Yeah, we here.
We ain't coming no more. We here.
And I think as we get that underway, I want to dip back in, because a lot of people may know or don't know, we have a nonprofit called New Black City. We really worked with that a lot during the pandemic. We did a talent show. We gave money to a school. And some kids, they had like a little bookshop or something, or like a shop. We did a backpack giveaway. We did a Black Restaurant Weekend. So I want to get, and that felt great. Like being able to do that. And we started that because we couldn't do much. So we was like, well, how can we kind of stay a part of the community? Kind of give back to the community who at that point, 2020, we were rising, but we were a staple at that point. So we were like, let's give back. And that just felt good. Like doing the things that we did with that nonprofit is just, once we came back outside, once they opened back outside up and we was back on Munchies, I feel like that nonprofit kind of took a back seat. But I do want to get back to that.
I agree. I feel like it's me specifically. I feel like I'm in a phase of my life where I just really want to get back and just really focus on mental health. You've
been doing a lot of
a lot of volunteer work.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to see the nonprofit pick back up. The Black Restaurant Week was so dope because we got to highlight a lot of restaurants who weren't weren't necessarily doing good at the time with COVID being a thing. So I think that was a good thing to highlight those different.
Then there was a group from out of town who came and they said they did the first Black Restaurant Week here, and that made me mad. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
we gotta wake it back up.
We gotta wake up.
We gotta wake it back up.
No, Black Restaurant Week was fire.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I do remember what y'all was doing with New Black City, and that specifically stood out because I'm like, okay, this is different.
Yeah,
this is fire.
It was a lot. It was a great scale for our first time doing it. Like we publicized all the Black restaurants and businesses, and then we picked, I think, like 7 or 6 throughout that week, and we did like an event there, like to drive people there. It wasn't like your typical restaurant week where people just you get a deal wherever you go.
Yeah,
I think that would be the next step of being able to compile all that. It's a lot though. It was a lot. It was a lot of work.
Didn't we do a talent show too?
We did a talent show
at number 38.
Yeah, number 38. That was dope. So we were able to put a lot of spoken word rappers, comedians, magicians, a lot of people in the community to give them a chance.
That's what it's about, bro.
Yeah, it is. And doing stuff like that, it just, like Munchies, I love that. I love that we give people stuff to do, but like that New Black City work, it felt rewarding. Like I went to sleep like, man, I did that. You know what I'm saying?
Get back to that.
We got to.
Get back to that.
Sure.
Man, I love what y'all are doing, man. I love the progression. I always felt like y'all have, so I'm happy to hear that you're saying a tour and like thinking that way, because when I used to look at like Henny, now Duce Palooza, and now R&B only, and like
that's the model,
and colors and these touring events, I'm like, Munchies is definitely that. Like it's always been that. So to see that that's the future and that's what the vision kind of is.
That's definitely the inspo.
Absolutely.
That's definitely inspo. So we appreciate that.
Word.
For sure.
So how can everybody follow y'all, keep up with y'all, buy tickets, all that stuff?
Yeah. You can check our website out at munchieshq.com. Our Instagram is munchies.and.mimosas. Our X, formerly known as Twitter. I love calling it Twitter still. I'm a rebel. Is Munchies HQ. I think our TikTok is like Munchies and Mimosas. We're gonna try to start getting in that space a little bit more too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just I'm just the
I get it.
It just like, so it was just, I needed a little help with TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been getting a lot of people reaching out saying that they haven't, they want to be a part of the email list that we have. So we do have an email listserv as well as a text group that we have as well. And so if you want to be a part of that group, feel free to reach out to either the Instagram page, or you can also go subscribe on the website at Munchies HQ.
Yeah, I'm a freestyle this one, so I'll probably get somebody wrong. So don't be mad at me, fellas. But
do your thing.
Our personal socials, mine is they know _Drano. He's DB the second. We got the Fly Kennedy. We have One Cold Story. We have Jay Merck, and then we have Gabeland, and where the A is an X.
Fire.
So those are the six of us who comprise. GNC Productions. We now have a GNC Productions page.
He's like, I should.
We got a GNC Productions page. We started a new series called Any Given Sunday.
Yep.
So we're trying to. It bled a lot into Munchies. A lot of people we did the Halloween party under Any Given Sunday. And people just kept calling it the Munchies party.
Yeah.
Or we did a pool party with Any Given Sunday. It's the Munchies, and it's like, we do a lot of work to kind of separate the brands. So that was I wasn't offended because you came and you was talking about it, but we still kind of want to distinguish the two brands to kind of build out two different lanes.
Yeah.
Follow that GNC Productions for our Any Given Sunday stuff.
That makes sense, man. I'm glad you highlighted that because even myself personally, it took me a while to realize y'all was GNC Productions. Like I just kept calling y'all Munchies and Mimosas.
Listen,
Munchies boys.
The Munchies boys.
The
The
Munchies
Munchies boys. Yeah, so I like the GNC Production is the umbrella.
Yeah.
The Munchies is an event under GNC Productions.
Yeah.
New Black City is the nonprofit under GNC Productions, and then Any Given Sunday is an event type under GNC Productions. So we, for a group that set out to only have a one-off event, we've kind of built a little stable
for real
to be proud of.
Dang.
So, yeah.
Dang.
For real, man. Well, I appreciate y'all, man.
No, we appreciate you.
GNC Productions.
Yes, sir.
Not the Munchie Boys. GNC Productions. Man, shouts to y'all, brothers.
All right, man. Bless.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Connect. I'm Graffiti. Out.